So anyway, being this gas is going up by the hour, you guys. Oh my gosh. I guess it's because of that war that's going on. This is really scary. Uh, my gas tank is so empty. Man. I just don't know. I cannot believe how it just seems to go up by the hour every day. It's just incredible. Hey, hey. Yeah, I bet that's Roxanne. Or it might be inspirational, no man. Hey, Roxanne! You believe that? It's going up by the hour. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. It's just this is getting really spooky. I talked to a lawyer friend of mine, used to be a lawyer for Sammy's years ago. Talked to him today out in Birmingham. And he was like, yeah, they're doing all this crazy stuff with gas. He said, we don't get any gas from Russia. And 250 per gallon. Yeah. Well, here it's usually normally like 205, and then in Bama it'll be like 175. But it just keeps going up and up and up, and like every week it was going up like 10 cents, and it's like it seems like every hour it's going up 20 cents in the last like 3 days. I can't even believe it. I feel so sorry for the tractor trailers. And that's a lot of how we get stuff. They don't run it all on trains anymore and stuff. I mean, a lot of it's run on tractor trailers. And we're having trouble getting tractor trailer drivers, apparently. Nobody wants to drive a truck. That's a big thing in the last like 6 months. And, now they're starting to get some drivers, and now they're going to raise the gas where these companies can't operate. I mean, it's usually diesel's always cheaper than regular gas, and it's so high. Independent truckers are going to have a terrible time, because I've had several friends that own their own tractor trailers, and contracted companies and stuff like Tyson and that, and geez, back in like '04 and '05, they were griping because gas was going up, and they just couldn't afford to operate anymore as independents. So they sold their tractor trailers that they owned and went to work for other companies because it was just not feasible to own your own tractor trailer. I was talking to somebody the other day, said, yeah, I want to buy a tractor trailer. And I said, well, good luck. I said, I got several friends several years ago that built out of it, and especially with the way gas prices are going right now, they're going to lock our tractor trailers up, and we're not going to get any shipments. Walmart's just starting to get some stock. Yeah, I've talked to the managers at Walmart's and stuff, and they're like, man, our back rooms are like so empty. Just all the time. We're having so much trouble getting stuff on tractor trailers. Dollar Tree in the Fort Walton Destin area, they've had so much trouble getting shipments. And the Dollar Tree in Mary Esther hasn't been able to get the frozen food for months. I mean, you'll go in there and they'll have like, 5 different items in all those coolers. That's it. And like this week, they got the coolers fully stocked. That means trucks are running. So, oh man. I'm telling you better fill your tank. If I could afford to do mine, I would. But you better fill your tank, keep it full every single day, because it may get really scary to where we can't even drive. I mean, already, I'm in bad shape. My car is like on empty. I've never run this car this low before. So, I'm just putting in like $5 at a time because I've got no income this week. So I've had several people call on some of the auction stuff. I've got a mower I'm trying to get rid of, and I wish it would go. And I've got it so low that people think it's a joke. But I need it out of my way because I may be moving my office out and putting it all in the storage. I don't know. It's just, today was just, nuts. I'm going to check on the mall and see if I can get a storefront over there still for real cheap, because that would probably be my better option. I just end up working less. I won't be able to work past 7:30. No, it's just, it's the weekend and stuff. But yeah, I could. I was going to rent at the mall before this. And I just didn't like the hours, and they offered me 24 hours, and then they turned around and changed it in like 2 months for the whole complex to be like locked down at 10. But they let me stay as long as I want to. Yeah, see, here's the problem. They brought this cuckoo in there, and, it was understood that she was just going to move all that stuff in there, and thinking it was air controlled, which it's not. And that's probably, that office back there probably gets no heat in here at all. But it's better than the storage complex because they all leak. And I mean leak bad. But they, it's real problematic because I'm like, you know, how often she's going to be there. She's going to be noisy. She's going to bring the dog all the time. Can't she leave the dog at home? You know, we're working businesses. We don't need all this extra bullshit. You know, she should really be using the bathroom outside if she's only renting it for storage. She shouldn't even be using our bathroom. This was all, I discussed all this before it even really happened because it's been several weeks. And so they only let you put stuff on hold for like 3 days. And if you don't come rent it, then they rent it to somebody else. But she had apparently put it on hold the first time or something and then actually didn't or something. I don't know what. So I don't know. It's just messy. But, you know, I don't run the place, so, you know, I can't do anything about it. I just find it offensive. The other people in one of the other offices are very offended by it. And, you know, they're considering closing that location completely. Because, you know, it's just going to be too problematic. And they don't think they can find anything, you know, as reasonable as the price. Because they got a little tiny office, so, you know, they've had it much longer than I have. And they just got a $20 hike on their rent. They were kind of pissed about that. And then supposedly they were supposed to get charged for parking spot, and they're only there 1 week out of every month. And it's military contract. And, you know, management had said some crap to me, and I said, you know, I wouldn't burn a good contract. They're only here 1 week a month. I mean, that's easy money. You're not bothering anybody. You know, I wouldn't push them and then lose that contract. And the next problem is, you know, they work for hospitals, the military hospitals, and I mean, they literally have plastic on the walls in that office and stuff. They went and bought it and visqueened all the walls and the ceiling and everything to keep it clean, and they have sterilizers in there and all that. Yeah, and I mean, and so, you know, I was concerned about the dog thing because I don't know if their contract will let them lease that if, you know, things are going to be like infected because there's a damn dog. So, you know, they were like, well, you know, and I said, well, I don't know. I said, to me, if it's going to be problematic, you got, you know, the renters that pay rent every month that have been here in these offices, and then you're going to bring some woman in that wants to store her belongings and bring a dog in and out. I mean, you know, and she's all happy because there's a bathroom in there. And it's like, there's something wrong with the picture. And so I said, you know, bottom line is it worth pissing off your current renters? You know, you got 50 cents here, 50 cents here, 50 cents here, 50 cents here to rent to somebody for 25 cents, you know, and then, you know, piss all these other people off for 25-cent rent. And they have so much trouble renting those offices. Let me tell you. That one office has stayed vacant for at least a year. The one that she's in, the one that I'm in, it was vacant for 6 or 7 or 8 months. And I kept, you know, talking to him for about 6 months, going back and forth. And they were like, you know, you should really get it and all that. I'm like, well, you know, give me the 2 that are left. I'll buy those. Because it's kind of redundant, you know, because I've emptied out like half of the storage into that one office. Are the offices in U-Haul? No, no. I don't think U-Haul does offices. U-Haul's terrible expensive. And they've got like 10 of them just in the Fort Walton area. But they got boondockers from hell in the U-Haul place from what I heard. They changed the, there was a Kmart for many, many years in Fort Walton. Big, giant Kmart. Old time, ragged out, old Walmart. I mean, not Walmart, Kmart. And they closed it once and for all. I guess it was around, sometime around, I guess, last year or the Christmas before. And, it sat, and then the word was that U-Haul was going to take it over. And then they did, and they spent 6 months tearing it all up inside and building cubicles for storage. And it's huge, 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 huge. And then they got a giant, giant, giant parking lot. So, that's like real handy because they can bring U-Haul trucks in, trailers, and have all kinds of stock there right and dead in the middle of the town and really do a really good business. And then that's what they did. They got wall to wall and hall to hall on trucks and trailers and everything else. And they make their big money on the trucks and trailers. And the next big money is storage complex. But the word I'm hearing around town is the boondockers are so bad in there, they're pooping in the storage units, like on the floor. And then when they catch them, they evict them, and they have to clean up poop and stuff all over the place. It's pretty gross. I mean, if you're desperate and you're going to try to boondock in a storage unit, you don't trash it up. But the one complex I rent my storages in, they used to have a boondocker every other unit. It was the creepiest thing I had ever seen. I mean, you hear doors open and close, open and close, open and close, and people wandering all over and stuff. And the bad part is, it's not like they were any real quality folks. These people are like drunks and druggies, and they'll work sometimes, or just work just enough to pay that $50 or $75 or $100 for a little tiny unit. I mean, they'll rent like a little 3x5, and then they won't work enough to pay that and barely eat, and they just don't try, and they can't live in the city stuff or the church stuff because they don't want to go to work, they don't want to quit drinking, they don't want to quit drugging, and they have regulations. There's a lot of help actually in the Fort Walton area. There's a huge amount of help with several churches out at Valparaiso by Eglin Air Force Base. They'll, you can go up there, and all the churches have a computer hooked up together, and you can go to every single one and ask for money, and you have to do an interview and a prayer and fill out papers and all that crap, and you need to be real honest because you can get in federal trouble if you abuse them. And then you can get enough to pay the first month's rent and your deposits, and then you can also get the money to start up all your utilities and all that. And they just write checks, and some of them they just call utility companies, go, okay, we're going to send a thing over by computer, cover this person, whatever. So they'll pay your whole thing to get into place. I've known several people that did that. I never got to do that for me. I did go to them a couple times just to cover some, I think, utilities. And they were really nice about it. It was really cool. But Fort Walton won't do that much for you. They'll do food. And they have a special place where you can go get food. And then they have got housing. And they have like a short term, like you could stay for, they'll help you out for like a couple months. It's called like Fresh Start or something. And they'll help you find a job and all that stuff. And you have to do what they say. And you like roommate. You'll be in one little tiny place and you have a roommate in that place, and you share the refrigerator in the place and everything until you get on your feet. And a lot of these boondockers don't even have cars. So the churches will give them a free brand new bike once a year. But a lot of the boondockers don't use locks. So when they lose their bicycle, then they just go steal another one. I know one girl has a different bicycle like every day. And that's just ridiculous. But, yeah. So, I was told many homeless like the freedom and don't like being told what to do. Probably. Because a lot of the fake beggars out there are making like $500 a day around here, standing on the corners every day like it's a job. With their little signs that I'm a vet, and they're not even a vet. All that stuff. Help, I need food. So many programs don't work because they don't want to follow the rules. Yeah, absolutely. They just don't. And the biggest problem is the drugging and the drinking. Now, my daughter, she worked at Dodge's for a while. And they used to come in there all the time. And she said, God, they beg out there all the time. And then they come in and they buy beer, cigarettes, and a whole bunch of lottery tickets. I'm like, no. And she said, yeah, they spend hundreds coming in and out of the store buying that stuff. I'm like, ugh. And it's pitiful how much money they're making. And then, we saw them over at the hotel, that old hooker hotel. We used to come in town and stay there a few days. And I would run costumes in town, and then we'd go back to Georgia and stuff. And I was really excited to bring my daughter down so she could enjoy the beach and everything else. And she's always loved it here. And so it was really weird because all these fake beggars, they all rent one room over there, and they all sit there partying. And I mean, literally, they'd be rolling out the door drunk and giggling, and the weed. Oh my God. And then tomorrow they're all out there standing there with a cardboard, with some little thing on there like, help, I need food, homeless, I'm a vet. We watched one guy. We were driving down the street. We were leaving Walmart Fort Walton, and he was over there begging when we got there, standing at the exit and getting money from every car. Help, I'm homeless, hungry. People handing money left and right. And we saw him when we left Walmart as we were driving by. My daughter goes, Mom, look. And I'm like, what? And she goes, there's that guy. I said, God, he's everywhere, isn't he? And she was watching him, and he had a whole stack of money. She's like, look at all the money. He was like counting it as he was walking. And he had like the freaking banker stack, dude. I mean, like 3 or 4 inches worth of money. And it was like, no. And he was walking to go to the next spot. And you would see him. They do that there too. And you would see him. He worked like 4 spots a day. So every time he drive, you see him at a different joint. And he doesn't have a car or a bicycle. He would just walk across town. Yep. It was just getting old. We saw this one lady, and I videotaped her. She's on my YouTube. This one older lady, she would come out there and she'd black her teeth out. Yeah. And she would black her teeth out, with like that Halloween black. So she only had like 3 teeth. No lie, I swear. And then she had a really crappy wig, a short, fake-o blonde wig that wasn't even put on right. And then she would wear shorts, and she was real bow-legged, and then it looked like sores all over her legs. It was gross. And she was standing on the corner with her little sign, help, homeless and hungry. And she'd stand at the corner over there by Brooks Bridge and Publix grocery store, and she would do it about once a month. You'd see her for like a whole week or something. And she was just painful to look at. It was horrible. And people would just be handing her money left and right. So one day, my daughter and I were we had to run over to Publix real quick, and they had a messed up soda machine over there that you could get Starbucks in the glass jar for like $2, and instead of like 3 something at the stores. And so we got a big kick out of going there all the time and buying the Starbucks for dirt cheap. So we'd buy like 2 each, and then get in there and get milk. Their milk's real good there. And we were going and walking from the car to the store, and all of a sudden it looked like that lady goes, that's that beggar lady. And I'm like, huh? She goes, yeah, look at her. See the way she walks? And she walks real bow-legged. And let me tell you what, this woman was really nicely dressed. She's probably about 70. And she was walking bow-legged, and she had a real nice pocketbook and all that stuff, and was going in the grocery store. And I'm like, oh, hell no. And when I got around to the front of her, that was sure as hell that woman. with her real hair and all of her teeth and dressed real nice. I was like, no. I was like, that's some bull crap, you know? So, the thing about doing that, though, I've thought about it when I hadn't eaten like 3 or 4 days, in the past. When I first was put out on the street there in 5 days from my house, and I had huge amounts in storages, 280 of storage. I had like 4 of them, I mean, and I'm wasting gas going back and forth to stay here or there, and it's kind of long distance, and, it costs you a lot of money to boondock in your car. And so, anyway, when you don't eat for 3 or 4 days, it makes it kind of rough. Tax-free money, yeah, it's cash. Yeah, I promise you, they don't make anything less than $500 a day. I will promise you that, because people will give it to them, and they always go, "Oh, I helped the homeless person. I felt so sorry for her." It's like, you idiot. That sucker out there every day. They're fake, and real homeless don't beg like that. If you watch carefully, real homeless never come up to people and ask them for anything. They're people with grocery carts pushing stuff around, or a little rolling wagon, and you can see they have, their sleeping bag, their pillow, and they're not bothering anybody. They go to the washateria like anybody else. They don't bother anybody. They're real casual. They talk very friendly to each other, and they don't go up to people asking them for money. It's the meth heads and all that pull that bull crap. There's one guy in town. He's probably come to my car door at least 50 times in a year. And I get pissed every time he gets to my car door going, "Hey, can I have some money so I can get something to eat at McDonald's?" Ugh. It's like, "Hey, I'm homeless." It's like, "Well, I am too." And, I used to always tell him, "I got kids." Before I was homeless, I would go, "I got kids. I don't spend my money on other people. There's work. Go work." You hear them. A lot of the southern people will come down here, the tourists, and the beggar comes up to them, and you're going to hear this cowboy start screaming at him. "Hey, so-and-so, you better get a damn job. Don't be coming up to me and begging. Get away, blah, blah, blah," They'll tell them off. And it's a big, to do. I mean, you'll hear it from, like, across the parking lot. They get mad. But, I mean, it's like I say, the real homeless, they don't beg like that. I mean, you actually have to walk over to them, and see them. They'll be sitting in the smoking hot, and they'll have a used soda cup that's, like empty, and you'll see them like fill it with water in the bathroom or something, and come back out and sit outside and play on their phone, and they'll be there for hours in the heat. They got nowhere to go, and those are the ones you walk up to and say, "Hey, how you doing today?" And then you talk to them for a couple minutes, and usually pretty nice. And then you offer to them. You say, "Hey, how's your drink doing?" And when they say, "Well, I'm out," but I go in a couple times in the store and get water, and then they throw me out or whatever. And I'll offer to buy them a soda or something. I'll bring it to them. I won't take them in the store with me or anything. I'll just go get it, and I'll bring it back and wish them a happy day. But those are the real homeless. I've given away so much clothes, so much food, so much drink to the real homeless. The real homeless. I've also done it with the people that were bullshitting. I used to go around that storage complex because I used to work in the storage complex out of my unit, doing glitter shoes and all that stuff. And every day in the heat and the cold. Ugh. And that's when, like, every other unit was a boondocker. And I felt so sorry for those people. I'm like, God, they don't even have a car. They're worse off than me. I hate to see people suffer. And like a fool, I was bringing food and drink 3 times a day for everybody. I would just go buy bulk stuff at McDonald's and in the drive-thru. And then I would drive through and be giving it to everybody. There's blue jeans. So, and that didn't do me any good. None of them have done anything for me. The main manager of the complex said, "You're wasting your time trying to make friends with those people or doing stuff for them." I said, "Well, I feel bad for them." I said, "I'm trying to brighten people's days. You know, they don't have much. Well, they don't have much because they won't work for it. You know, I've never worked harder in my life, and the money's so hard doing it this way online. But I'm also on a crappy site. Yep, yep. I'm up late every night. God, if I get to sleep before 1 or 2, it would be a miracle. Um, Normally I'm still at work, but I went ahead and left. I had such a long, crazy day. Very stressful, very, very stressful day. And I don't need all this stress. But I can't do a lot right now because my Etsy shut down, and I don't want to list any real expensive stuff on my eBay because the heavier it is, the more it costs to ship, and I really don't have the money to ship anything but penny-sized stuff. So, I just list a lot of my cheaper stuff that only cost a couple dollars to ship because I don't want to mess up that account because the settings for it right now, because I just started it, is 3 days shipping. So I have to come up with the money in like 3 days. Um, it was nice here today in the 60s. Yay! Yeah, it was probably about 75 or so today here. I wasn't outside a lot. I was kind of stuck in my office because I was researching some stuff on the internet. I didn't get to teach. I was scared to teach today because I keep getting my classes canceled with the damn barking dog back there and all the other crap. So I just said, well, maybe I just won't teach today, and then I don't have to sweat any bullets. I could do it tonight when it's fairly peaceful. And I didn't even get to do that because I was researching some things on the internet and checking on my shop like hourly to see if it's back open back up, and it's not. Um, and I was looking at some other websites to advertise on, and sell, but um, they look like losers to me. So I was reading about it and reading the internet to see what other people were saying about it. They just weren't anything. But so that's kind of. But I mean, it's just another day, but terrible stressful. Actually, I just really wanted to quit everything about 2 o'clock this afternoon and just go to the beach and vlog the whole rest of the day. And it's probably what I should have done. I should have just got up and said, "Screw it, I'm gonna take a day off, first time in a year, and just do what I wanted to do. Just YouTube on the beach and just rap with everybody and see who comes along." And 'cause I got my backup battery and stuff. But yeah, take my bevel edge logger and go for it. In a few days, it's going to be cold. Oh, this is terrible. Ooh, that would be really terrible. But yeah, so um, I don't know. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Maybe that lady's almost done moving in. I don't know if she's trying to live there or what is going on. Um, I mean, it's cool by me if they're gonna let her live there. Let me live in my office. Man, we're all good. You know what I mean? Even though it's so small, I couldn't be there all the time. That would freak me out. It's just I get claustrophobic being in there already. Um, but the only way I could stand there is to stay busy, keep photographing, listing, or making stuff. So yeah, I just don't know. I'm considering moving back into my storage. The problem is it's going to get really hot out there. Because I worked it in the cold, worked it in the hot, but it's a whole lot cheaper. But the problem is I don't have running water to wash, chemicals in my hands and stuff. And I gotta pee in a cup like do that when I'm boondocking in the car. Um, but I have fresh air to work in and stuff. Well, if they will let you do it. Oh no, I did work in my storages. I did work in my storages at the storage complex. That's what I did for all the time before I got to office. You could use the bathrooms there in the office. No, there's no. If I give up my office, I don't have an office with the bathroom. No, I do not. And the outside bathrooms that are over at my storages, that bathroom's only open during business hours. They're not open 7 days a week or any of that crap. But yeah. So and I mean you have to be real discreet about it. You don't want to be like peeing and somebody drives by and sees it, because then there'll be a complaint. And I told him, I said, hey, sometimes I pee at my storage. I got containers and everything. And then, I just walk them to the bathroom and pour them down the toilet and flush it. I got containers. You buy them at Dollar Tree. It's a big container. You get a short one or a tall one. It's like a 1 quart or 2 quart or whatever. They're $1. And you pee in that sucker and close the lid. But now, if you have to do the number 2, you better be getting in the car and going to somewhere that has a bathroom. So, and don't ever eat after like 3 in the afternoon, because you got no place to go to the bathroom because everything kind of closes at night. Yeah, I mean, you just be clean about it, and you don't do it like where people can see you and stuff. I mean, in the daylight, I wouldn't be able to like pee in my car, because I could see through my car. At night, the tinted windows bring it down, so you can't really see much at night. But so I can get away with peeing in the car. But man, if I got a ticket for showing my butt peeing in the car, oh my God. You know how embarrassing that would be, to go to court and be charged with showing your butt in public? Oh my God. And have to tell the judge, well, I'm homeless and I was peeing in my car. God. Oh no. That would be horrible. I should be glad when this is over, because this is a horrible way to live. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Every day I cry, every night I go to sleep. I hate it. I've never, ever, ever in my life had to live like this. And I've never had to work this hard before in my whole life. 7 days and nights a week. To get absolutely nowhere. That's the way I feel. I'm getting absolutely nowhere. It's Etsy. That is such a sorry sight. Oh, it's so bad. If you get on the internet, you'll see, and you can get in those forums too and read all that stuff. The sellers are just going crazy with the problems with Etsy and problematic customers, and I get on there sometimes to help, and then there's always some mean store people that have had stores there for years and are just mean in those forums. And it's like, these people need a good slap, man. Why would you get on there and be so mean to people? I had one seller go, well, doesn't your store sell stripper clothes? Well, who cares? I looked at her store and she sold nothing but garbage. But I mean, it's to each your own. Everybody has their own treasure. You know what I mean? I mean, if she's doing good with that and that's what she likes to sell, that's her problem. Not mine. I do what I do, and it's respectable. I'm not selling dirty panties on there. Yeah, it's just these forums, people are vicious. The one for Native Camp is vicious. Those Filipinos on there are just trash. And I've had some very good Filipino friends for a great many years, especially in this area. They're like my family. But these other ones that are in the Philippines working and doing the Native Camp teaching thing, they're butt. They are just absolutely butt. And only because, they know you can't reach through there and give them a good slap. They just type whatever they want to type and be horrible. They call me Preacher Red on there. Oh, that must be Preacher Red. It's like, excuse me? I try to be nice to people and helpful. That's what those forums are for. It's not to insult people and bring them down. It's like, be helpful. If you know anything about whatever the problem is they're experiencing, I've sold online for many, many years. I was kingpin seller on Amazon and eBay, buddy. 5K a week. You bet I know how to sell. And, you know, I try to give people, help and advice when they're brand new sellers. They've never sold on the internet before. I just try to help them because I've already been there and done that. No, no, not the way they're saying it. They're really rude about it. Oh, that's preacher red, you know. And it's because they think I'm preaching all the time when I'm trying to help people. And they're making fun of me doing it, and that's just rude. Oh, we got another person who doesn't want to pay for advertising. They love to jump on my live and advertise all over for their sex stuff and all that, like idiots. Go pay for advertising. I don't know how to sew. My mom was good. Thank you. Whoever's knocking those people out was probably Roxanne. Sucker's trying to advertise for free for sex on my channel. Man. Go get a YouTube channel and do your own sex advertising over there. I mean, everybody got a job, but please don't abuse my discussion here with my friends. We're kind of busy. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, the forums are very sad. Blue Jeans cracking up. I don't know how Solomon was good. Yeah. Yeah, my mom was outrageous seamstress. Oh my gosh. Outrageous, but that's how I learned it, and I've got a lot of schooling behind it too. I've got schooling in grade school, high school, and college. And I've got a degree in fashion design and merchandising. That was my first college degree at UCLA. So, and they offered me a job while I was there to work at Jag Jeans in downtown LA, and I turned it down. They thought I was a real hot dog. And I was also selling clothes in Beverly Hills while I was going to college. And for all the top makers and stuff. Because, I wanted to be, the top designer and work in New York. That was my dream, to go to New York. Man, I don't know how I had that in my head. New York's a crappy place. I've been there like a couple times, kind of passing through. Oh yeah, I could sew up the entire universe, trust me. I can sew. Seriously sew. I can sew, I can tailor, I can do all that. Yeah. Matter of fact, you know what? One of the first serious pieces of clothes I made in high school was a 3-piece suit in khaki color and fully lined with satin. That's right. 3-piecer. Which I had for years, which I would still have if it didn't get, stolen. Oh, yeah. I had almost everything I've ever made until just a few years ago because they stole a bunch of the storages that we had. I had a bunch of them up in Bama, and I was still paying on them a year later, and jerks hijacked them, and some of them were in my daughter's name, which she should have sued them because she was a minor. We squeaked up there, and the first ones we rented, we put them in her name, and the guy didn't even pay attention. And she was a minor. And so my health was real bad, and I kept going to the hospital, and so I was putting all the most important stuff and valuable stuff in the storages with her name on it. So in the event that I died or anything, she would have no trouble getting that for sure. And then, she could try to petition to get the other stuff, but the other ones would be automatic access to her because they were in her name and not mine. But, oh, what a mess. But yeah, it's sad because I don't hardly ever get to make anything for myself. People go, man, you can really sew. You make beautiful clothes all the time. And it's like, I bet you make all your clothes. I said, no, I used to 100 years ago, and I made all my kids' clothes, everything but their shoes and their stockings. and they're hats, but um, uh, I rarely do I get to make anything for me. That's the bad part. It's like, man, I wish I could just sit down and make a pair of bell bottoms, you know, and I never have time to make anything for me. I have tons of fabric. Trust me, I've got velvet, all kinds of stuff. And I just don't even have the time. I have about $100,000 in fabrics not even cut right now sitting in storages. Yep. Yep. So, I don't know. But, as soon as I can get this eBay where I can list whatever on there, I could move out a lot of stuff. If I can keep the account. Because, like I say, I've been booted off there so many times. That and Amazon. I'm going to try to get back on Amazon and see if I can slide in there again. I don't know how well that'll work, but we'll see. It's been a lot of years since I've been on those two sites. So, I'm actually surprised that eBay's still open at this point. But if I could get really rocking, I've just got like 30 ads on there right now, and it's just for cheapy stuff. But, you know, because I could turn around and start listing the stuff that's on Etsy over on eBay, and then whatever sells first, and delete the next one when that sells, and just run them both together like I used to do the Amazon and eBay, and try to run it out, you know, because I've got to get the stuff sold, reduce what I've got, and it'll be easier for me to relocate to. The less I've got to move, because right now I'm in 2 10x20s, and then my office is full. And that's like, they say it's 10x20. I don't believe it. It could be though. So you're talking like 3 10x20s worth of stuff, you know, that I would have to move. And that's like, I don't even know if it fits in the biggest U-Haul truck. You know? So I got like 68 boxes of my daughter's stuff. You know, that she was supposed to pay me storage for. She told me to keep it for her, and I'd asked her a couple times if she was going to pay the storage, and she's making really good money, and I've never been able to get any money from her. Am I moving? Me? Well, not yet. I mean, I have to have the money to do it first, so I just keep working every day. At least I'm trying. You know, I put horrendous hours in every day. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Tired of working. And now I'm scared for my office because I'm afraid those people break in. You know? But, and it's really problematic. I'm just, you know, when that district lady shows up next week, if she starts jumping in my face, you know, who knows what'll happen. So, because she was not very nice to me a couple weeks ago, and threatened me 100 different ways because I didn't think a pit bull was a very cool animal to have because it's dangerous, and I was worried for her, and she took it really bad because she thought I was a mean person because I don't like pit bulls. Well, I've never owned one. I do know people that have, and I know people that have been attacked by them, and I know what's on the internet. I just never owned one, so I don't know. And I was concerned about her, and she was like, "You can't be my friend if you don't like my pit bull." I told her it was cute. She showed me the picture. I said, "It's a really cute dog." I mean, it's not my dog, not my problem. It has nothing to do with the business I do with that corporate at all. And she's thoroughly pissed. So she's already jacked my storages up. $20 each, both of them. So now I got those two storages are now $200 each. God, dog. Actually, the last bill I paid was over $200 each for the two. And man, you know, I had late charges last month, so I paid like $1,100 for everything. And so you know, my house with the pool was $1,000 a month. Okay, a 2-story house with a pool in a really nice area, $1,000 a month. And I'm paying that, and I'm homeless. My hubby wants to retire. He has been in the same place for 37 years. They're raising ours to 160 next month. It used to be 90 a month. Holy jeez, for storage? Is that for storage? 160 a month? Well, in Bama, you get 20 by 30s, $50 each. They're raising ours to 160 a month. It used to be 90 a month. Yeah, but it varies. I mean, you know, in California, go look at auction storages in California online, and they go in the thousands. And you know why? Because the rent is high. The rent for the storages is grotesque high. I don't know how they do it. My brother keeps wanting me to go back there, and he's offered me an office and a little bit of storage. He thinks I've got all auction storage in my storages, because the other day he's like, your problem is you bought too many auction storages, and it's just, that's why you have all this stuff. I said, no, it's not. I sell that stuff like fast as fire. I just now, this month, took like 67 boxes out of my retail unit that were all numbered for each unit and stuff, because I write down, you know, everything I have and everything I sell, so I can keep track of my income on the storage units. I make out like bacon. But I mean, I'm reselling stuff. It's not like I'm finding, like, you know, tons of gold and silver and jewelries and friggin' safes and guns. No, it's not like that. I have not been lucky enough to hit a lot of that. I get stuff like some stamp collections, and I've got about three sets of those. And I've got baseball cards out of 2 different units, and none of them were like prize cards with like the grading on them or anything. You know, just some stuff. And then the furniture is gone first. Boom. In 2 or 3 days, furniture gone. But I had all the little stuff I wanted to list on the internet. And there was some new stuff and packages and some used stuff. And, you know, I had one unit that there was a bunch of costume jewelry in boxes that was new. And so, you know, I put them all in these crates and stuff and stacked them up in my retail unit. And I said, I'm just going to pull every single one out and list it, get it gone, because I want to leave. I want this stuff sold so I can go. So I have very, you know, so much less to haul, you know, and it's you know, costing me money to house it. And so I'm losing money every day and I'm paying storage on it. So, I got to reduce. So, you know, that's what I'm trying to do. So I got all those boxes out like 4 weeks ago or something, and started going through every single one of them and seeing if there's anything I needed to keep. Because it's just stuff I threw in there real fast, like the fire sale, you know. Because when I go through the storage stuff, it's like, you know, I have hefty bags for dirty clothes, hefty bags for trash, and then because they leave a lot of food trash and all kinds of stuff in there, and you don't need it, and you want to get it out of there, because other than that, you'd be fighting the bugs and everything else, and it stinks too. I mean, but so and then I have the hefty bags for the dirty clothes, because all that's got to be taken in one lump sum, and you have to use gloves and everything on it to put it in the washateria and everything, because you don't want to touch it until it's you know, washed. And then I see what survived, what didn't, because some stuff's just pure garbage, and throw that away while I'm at the washateria. You know, stuff I don't really give a damn about, I fold it up nicely and I walk around the washateria and tell people, hey, you know, do you need some clothes for your kids or for you or whatever? You can have those free. And everybody comes over and picks out what they want, and they take it home. So it helps people that need clothes. And then I take a lot of clothes that I've washed and folded up that I can't really resell. They're of no real serious value. You know, like plain t-shirts and stuff like that. And I'll go around town and and I'll put them in the car, and I'll go around town and catch the real homeless people. Like in the cold, I give them sweaters, and in the summer, I give them, t-shirts and tank tops and stuff. And I ask them, I'd say, hey, or how's your day today and all that, and say, can you use some clothes? Because they don't, a lot of them don't have the money to go to the washateria. And so, they have dirty clothes. So I'll give those to them for free. And then anything that's of any better value, then I'll just retail it off. I sell it new or used on the internet. So I run that stuff out super fast. But the other stuff, I just kind of go through and go, oh, treasure, and throw in a box, and I label it with the number of the unit. And I don't really look at a lot of it in depth. I just stick it in a box because that's the internet stuff or something I might want to keep. I just throw it all together, stack all the boxes up, and when I get time, I go through them. It's from tools and all kinds of stuff. This stuff I'm sure I can sell. I photograph right there and list it immediately. Just like the furniture. First thing to go. Because if I don't, I end up paying for the storage unit. And I don't want to do that. I already got enough storages. So that's not any way to make money. And so that's what I do. I roll that out quick. But I don't keep a bunch of crap. There's no way in hell. I know a lady that does that at $1,000 a month. And she's not homeless. She's just a waitress. And she bought a whole bunch of giant storages several months ago. I didn't bid. I was trying to save money, and she went in and bought like 3 10 by 30s full. Huge storages. And she's had them for like 5 or 6 months now, including her own storages. And she never gets rid of this stuff. She's come up there for a little bit, and she had a little tiny car, and she puts prices on it and stuff, and I don't know if she yard sells it or what she does with it, but, and then she, runs 2 or 3 loads in one day, and then that's it. And, I mean, that's insane because she was paying the rent on all those units all these months, and you're talking like I think it's $360 a month for those big ones. And that's a lot of money. She's paying way over $1,000. And it's not worth it. You're not making any money out of it, man. I don't care. Unless you got 10 tons of gold in there to sell or something, it's not worth it. Because you're paying all that storage rent. Hell no. The whole idea is get rid of it. Fast as you can. I've donated a ton, which that's also a plus. Because you get receipts for that and it's tax deductible. I have a scrap man that all I gotta do is call him and he'll come over with the trailer and we start throwing stuff in the trailer. And then now we split it. We go half and half. He brings me a receipt back. I get half, he gets half. And he's happy as hell to come. And then I give him a lot of stuff in the meantime. If I run across some metal somebody's getting ready to throw away or something, or I had some, I just go by his place and go here, and I throw it in his trailer. So, yeah. It's all recyclable, man. It helps the world. It helps people. But, yeah. So, I don't know. But, man, I tell you, what a day today. Oh, gosh. I hope tomorrow's no problem. I mean, even after that lady was screaming at me, I helped her later. And she thanked me so many times, but I knew then she was really mental. She was psyching out over that key on that door, and she kept saying, I just can't do this. And I said, well, they should have furnished you with the proper key. That's their job. And I mentioned it to management this morning, and they didn't do shit. And they're not going to be there all day. And matter of fact, when she got that key, it was right as they were leaving. I said, man, you better go up to the office and tell them, please do something about this key because it does not work. She ran up there and she even said, I'll pay for new locks and everything if you guys just put them in, if that's what'll make it work, because I can't do the thing with the key. And they were like, oh, no, you don't have to do that and all that. And So, she gets really psyched. So she's messed up. And, what do? Because it's not worth arguing with somebody with that. It's really not worth arguing with anybody at all. You just try to be peaceful about it. Sometimes you got to really hold your breath and look like an idiot. I do that a lot. I do that a lot because I just don't feel like wasting the breath to deal with a bunch of negativity, because maybe eventually they'll just shut up. And a lot of times they will, sometimes they won't. If they're a real psycho, they'll keep rattling, but most of the time they'll just shut up after they get done screaming and acting retarded. Because you're not saying nothing. See, it's sort of like adding to the fire. If you start trying to talk to them, say something, try to reason with them, or get mad at them or something, then it's like you're adding to the fire and they get more pissy, and it just makes no sense at all. And it's just better not to get in all that negativity and drama. I don't need it. I don't need the stress. I mean, I was shaking all day today with all that bullcrap going on. So, hey, you guys, thank you for the 2 thumbs up. I appreciate it. So, I just don't need all that drama. I'm under so much already. I don't need all that negative stuff. I'm trying so hard to get out of this mess and keep going forward. And it's like, please don't come by and break my stride. Be nice. But yeah, so yeah, I was talking to Inspirational Nomad the other day, and I said, hell, I think what I'd rather be doing is just vlogging. I think I would just vlog, and I'll make all my money on YouTube. You know what I mean? Just do it all the time. But I mean, I do a lot of vlogging. I really do. Most YouTubers don't do as much as I do. I tell you who's barreling along is Baby's Adventures, my friends down in the Tampa area. We were talking so many times, and I'm like, well, I said, you're getting a lot of vlogs done, but you're still behind. What do you mean? And then when I looked up how many years they've been on YouTube and then how many vlogs they got, because they never would do any vlogs but like 1 or 2 a month. And I said, you got to do more vlogs. And they didn't believe me. And they're vlogging away right now. They're vlogging about anything. They're vlogging about that leaf over there falling. They're vlogging their butts off because they learned how much they can make and grow their subs by vlogging like they're doing. They finally got on the lives. I kept bugging about the lives. I'm like, ugh. I said, please, you got all kinds of subs. Please go on the live. And so now they're just whacking it away. I mean, they're doing lives that are like hours long and stuff. This is really cool. But yeah, I did a total for them one day, and I said, okay, so you've been on YouTube this many years, you've got this many vlogs, and you should be doing at least a vlog a day, and you're short about 2,200 vlogs. And they were like, huh? I said, yeah. You really need to be vlogging every day, even if it's for 5 seconds. Just do a vlog. And I mean, there's some days that I've done 15 and 30 vlogs in one day. And so, it really helps my average. Especially, if there's any days I'm not able to vlog or something, or I'm too busy. So, I'm still making up for it. But I tell them, I say, yeah, you're kind of short. Now they just vlog all the time. And they're just banging away. The channel is screaming. I mean, it is screaming. They're like a little over 2K subs, because they just started banging on it, man. And it's great. And they thought I was a jerk every time I say, go on the live. Go on the live. You need to vlog more. Vlog every day. Vlog every day. And they were just like, man, Red's on here driving us crazy. I just know. But now you can't keep them off YouTube. They're banging. They're doing such a good job. They just vlog about everything, and they're hilarious. They're so funny. I saw them over DD vlogs, and then Inspirational Nomad. That's how he found them too. He's like, "You're friends," and I'm like, "Yeah, they're my friends. I've been to their house." Okay. We've all hung out together in Florida. They're really, really nice people. You know, she's really special. She's been through some stuff in her life and pretty incredible. And she's really a neat person. Really super neat. And then him, he doesn't ever talk at home. I think when we were at their house, I think he said a total of like 10 words altogether. He does not talk. It was almost like he was mad, you know. We stayed down there for a few days and stuff. They invited us down. And, but really neat people. Really nice people. And, they were just a blast when they came to Destin. Man, they were just so much fun. They were just a total crack up. And they came up here for, I don't know, 2 or 3 days. They were on their way to somewhere else too. And so they got a hotel out in Crestview on his points or whatever. And we just had a blast in Destin. And there were some other places I wanted to take them. But, you know, they were on a time clock there, you know. And plus, they stayed so far away from the beach, it was ridiculous. I'm like, why are you staying all the way out in Crestview? I mean, that's like an hour something away. But that's just what they did. But they're neat people. If you ever get a chance, go on BB's Adventures. Okay? It's Bonnie Berger, BB's Adventures on YouTube. And they have vlogs about restaurants, and travel, and ghost hunting now. They have all these different vlogs where all they ever did before was just like DoorDash. And then they opened up to doing restaurant reviews. And then that's all they were doing. And now they're just into all kinds of stuff. And so it's like the variety channel. They have some really neat stuff on there. It's really fun to watch them. And they're funny. And sometimes they even fight on their vlogs. I was like, whoa. And they just recently went to Puerto Rico. Because her mom owns a house out there. And nobody's going out there, too. And she lives in the States. It just sits vacant. So family members will go out there and stay for a little bit. And nobody been out there for a year or two. And so he went out there to go cut the yard and do stuff. And go about, and they did a whole bunch of vlogging when they were out there. And those are some really neat vlogs. Really pretty place. Super pretty place. So if you ever get a chance, go check it out. You'll dig it. But, yeah, so anyway, it's been so much fun talking to you guys. It really has. It always makes my day better. Thank you. I got 3 thumbs up. Yay! Hoorah, hoorah. I don't see Inspirational Nomad over here. He's probably already gone 99.9. Because he works on the computer most of the day. And then he tries to get a vlog in every day there. You know, when he gets off work. And then sometimes he drops into my vlogs. Sometimes, like, if I'll do a vlog, like, you know, 10 or 11 in the morning, he'll jump on there for a minute and say hi. And then I've had to do one about somewhere between 4 and 6 or 7. He'll jump on there and he'll hang out for, you know, 10, 20 minutes. And then if I do a later vlog, he might show up. He's so funny. But he's been boondocking like 5 years, get me 6, but a choice. He sold his house off and everything else, and he had his own business. And he just said, screw it, I'm done. And moved into his car. And it's been almost 6 years, and I keep telling him, time's up. It's time to get a place. The road is done. This is a bad time right now to be boondocking. There's too many crazies out there. And too many idiots. And it's hard on your car, it's hard on you, and it's creepy. It's just not real safe. And it's bad expensive, especially this gas keeps creeping up like 20 cents every minute. So, yep. But anyway, I hope you guys have a really great one. It's been so nice to have you and hang out with you. I'm so glad you came by. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening And I hope that you have a really happy and profitable day tomorrow. But as usual, do something kind for a stranger. Love everybody. And too much of a good thing is wonderful. We'll take a whole lot of that. I love you guys. Have a really great evening, okay? And I'll see you in the next one. Remember, do something kind for a stranger. I'll see you in the next one. Love you.